Wunderschönen guten Tag zu dieser Live-Reaction zum Mario Maker Invitational 2019. Hier wird es ein paar Level geben, wo die Leute gegeneinander Level aus Mario Maker 2 spielen. Ich bin auf jeden Fall gespannt, ob wir irgendwas Neues sehen werden oder ob sich das überhaupt lohnt, eine Reaction dazu machen. Aber Mario Maker geht immer. Mario Maker geht immer. Und deswegen gucken wir mal. Wir sind gerade im Stream, knapp 1000 Leute, die jetzt die sich das jetzt mit mir hier zusammen reinziehen. Jens, grüß dich. Geburtstag mache ich, Haus renovieren. Ach, wie schön. Das ist ja blöd. Tobak, grüß dich. Und Mario 64 liegt übrigens bereits mit 8 Stimmen vorne. Wurde mein Sub nicht angezeigt? Doch, doch, Max. Aber ich habe in der Sekunde umgeschaltet. Ich habe mich schon bedankt bei dir. Vielen, vielen lieben Dank. Es wird viele Nachtlevel geben. Okay. Ich bin echt gespannt, was jetzt kommt. Ich bin wirklich gespannt, was jetzt kommt. Zeigen die nur Spiele oben oder neuen Stuff? Ich hoffe mal, die haben auch neuen Stuff. Assassin's Player, vielen lieben Dank für deinen Twitch-Follow. Genauso an Yolo Simi und Darth Simpson. Vielen lieben Dank. So, jetzt dürfen wir mal gespannt sein. Los geht's. Oh mein Gott.
We're here at the theater at Ace Hotel, and a throng of fans have lined up since last night for an exciting full day of Nintendo competitive action, featuring some of the world's greatest.
Das sind so arme Schweine in den Kostümen, ne?
As we get set for the Splatoon 2 World Championship 2019, the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate World Championship 2019. 3v3, but we get all the fun started with the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational.
Schmeckt nach Kirsche. Sei so gut.
Joining me fresh out of a couple of warp pipes, my two friends, Vish and Nine.
Die bekommen Geld dafür, trotzdem sind das arme Schweine. Die Hitze, ja, oh Gott.
Now we have the sequel coming out. But for some folks, this is their first taste of Super Mario Maker action. What do you expect to see, and explain it a little bit further for us?
Well, basically, if you've never played Super Mario Maker before, it's whatever
Oh, eine Super Mario World Jacke.
You are in control of making the Mario levels of your dreams. Basically, you can take elements, enemies, and components from different Mario games and create your own level. And on top of that, you can play levels from creators all across the world. It's basically whatever you want, Jordan.
The possibilities are limitless. Well, guys, you know I'm a dad now. I love rules. Let's take a look at the tournament rules here for today for Super Mario Maker 2. Round 1, 4
Okay. Competition zwischen zwei Spielern of all time. Ah. Kann sich denn ein Player in der zweiten, also ein Mitspieler in der zweiten Runde neu aussuchen?
Teams of 2 work together to complete a co-op course as quickly as
Lauter?
possible. The winning team will compete against each other in
Lol.
we get to the finals. Oh, things over on its head. 2 players compete on 3 mini courses and 1 final course. Each win of the 3 mini courses is worth a 3-second head start on the final course. At the end, the first player to complete the finals course will be the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational Champion.
Da bin ich ja mal gespannt, ob wir jetzt irgendwas Neues sehen. Das wäre toll. Endlich was Spannendes.
However, when you get set to play Super Mario Maker 2 for the first time, you've never seen these levels before. How do you approach it? What's the strategy as you get set for these courses?
Weiß ich noch nicht, Corny. Ich will jetzt erstmal Mario Maker.
I don't think anyone's that good. They might prove me wrong, but it's really a matter of adapting to what's on the screen. Do you throw yourself right at it and learn by messing up, or do you instead take a little bit, spend 30 seconds here to save yourself a minute down the line?
We'll talk about that theme of risk
Ich glaube, YouTuber und irgendwelche Speedrunner oder so, wenn ich das richtig verstanden habe.
Mario genres. You're going to be controlling a Mario from one universe as you handle obstacles and traps that maybe appeared in a different Mario universe. How do these players adapt to all the physics they're going to be handling?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to experience at the end of the day. Like, if you're well versed in all the Mario games that are here in Mario Maker 2, you're going to have an easier time dealing with all the objectives and enemies on the fly, right? Like, you're going to be speedrunning it, so you don't have that much time to adapt and react. So your experience is really going to come in the clutch, in these clutch moments.
And these courses are going to be very exciting.
Philipp,
They
aber
were
viel werde ich
designed
nicht
by our good
übersetzen.
friends at Nintendo Treehouse. We know they have been done with care and love as well.
Das heißt jetzt halt nur, die spielen halt jeder eine Runde und dann darf sich derjenige, der gewonnen hat, noch einen neuen Mitspieler aussuchen. Das finde ich eigentlich ganz cool gemacht.
So what's going through your mind while you're playing?
Well...
Ah, schön. Geil, geil, geil.
No!
Why though? Why was that?
Okay, das scheinen auf jeden Fall diejenigen zu sein. Ich kenne keinen einzigen davon. Ich bin ganz ehrlich, ey.
So what's going through your mind while you're playing?
It's complicated.
Oh, 4 terrific speedrunners that have had plenty
Mario
of
Maker
experience
2
in Mario
College Jacke
Universe.
wäre
See
geil.
the completionist Abdallah, the Dragon Feeny, and Yellow Killer B. And 9, we were having some breakfast earlier. We chatted with them. They're excited
Abdallah,
for this.
den kennt
They
man.
feel like there's a clear
Ich
favorite
habe keine
amongst the 4
Ahnung,
of
ey.
them, though.
Yes, they do. 3 of the 4 selected Dragon Feeny as the favorite. The one who did not was Dragon Feeny herself, ever the humble competitor. But that first round is going to be really important because whoever wins that is going to get to choose their partner, and it might be Dragon Feeny.
And Vish, we were highlighting some of the new features in Super Mario Maker 2 as opposed to Super Mario Maker. What are some things we might possibly see as these players see the courses for their very first time?
Well, the big thing is there's a new game
mein
mode.
Gott,
There's a whole
ey.
new game type
Die
with
Masken
Mario
sind ja
3D
überhaupt
World.
nicht
So you
peinlich,
might
ey.
see a Meowser,
Oh mein
you might
Gott.
see Cat Mario. There's all sorts of new contraptions in the parade for this.
Ich kenne nicht mal die Streamer hier im Kanal.
Aside from that, you have things like slopes, you have things like parachutes that are just going to add a new little element of surprise, and these players
Ich will
are
so
going to
eine
have to deal with that on the
Schlafmaske.
fly while getting their best time possible. It's going to be a fun ride.
Well, as you look at Abdallah and the completionist, you'll notice that they've got face masks on. They've got noise-canceling headphones on. Oh, look at that. That's just a holiday card right there. Bestest buddies. It's okay. You can smile, completionist. You're here having fun right now. He can't hear me. Those work very well. I like that. So they obviously won't get a chance to be a couple of sneaky sneaks and see the level as it gets played. But as we get set for Yellow Killer B and the Dragon Feeny to take place here, we mentioned those new features and that risk reward.
Ja, Niklas, das frage ich mich auch immer. Mit dem Merch. Die könnten so viel Geld machen. Und Alex, vielen lieben Dank für dein Twitch-Follow.
It's all about creativity too and adapting on the fly. As a couple of you have said, you can take maybe one path and try it a certain way. Maybe that doesn't work. So the second time you might try it again. But that
Beim
third
Trinken
time,
sieht die Maske
fool me
gut
once,
aus.
shame on you.
Ach,
Fool
beim
me twice,
Linken.
shame on me. Fool me 3 times. You got to change the game plan a little bit.
And Vish, it's one
Das
thing
ist
when you're
ein
back in the
Zwei-Bundle.
comfy confines of your living room or your bedroom playing
Ja,
this
die
game
ist
and
wirklich
getting a
ganz
chance to
hübsch.
hit the
Die ist ganz
reset button
niedlich
if
hier
you
eigentlich.
struggle, but you're on a big stage here right now. We've got a fantastic audience in the crowd getting set to watch this. We've got a lot of people watching this and through the stream and everything as well too. The nerves that might be going through these players real quickly here.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big stage like you
Mach's hier
mentioned,
lang.
and it's the first time that we're seeing Super Mario Maker 2 in a stage like this. And from talking
Jetzt
to
bin ich
the
ja
players, they
gespannt,
don't
ob wir
have too much
irgendwas Neues
experience
sehen,
on a
ey.
stage like this. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they deal with the nerves and playing like a technical game like
Das sind
Mario
alles
Maker
Streamer, ne?
or Mario in general while you're speedrunning is going to be very, very crucial for them to not feel nervous in the middle of their runs.
Well, the wait is over. Let's hit the start button. The Dragon Feeny versus Yellow Killer B, our opening speed run.
Ich versuche mich auf das Spiel zu konzentrieren. Wir wollen Mario Maker sehen.
Invitational 2019. Let's start the countdown. 2, 1, and go. As they get set, they'll be hitting the start button at the same time. The Dragon Feeny on the left-hand side of your screen. Yellow Killer B on the right. And already 9. What genre of
Oh, da krieg ich gleich Gänsehaut bei der
Got a
Musik.
little Super Mario 3D World, how about that? And the slopes coming out immediately, and this is already
Okay.
a new feature. This block, when you ground pound it, immediately goes to its full extent and unveils a new pathway.
The Dragon Feeny in early lead decides
Okay,
to
es
go
sieht
with
ja schon mal
the
geil
path,
aus,
and
ey.
so does Yellow Killer
Zu klein die
B, and
Bildschirme, ja,
we
finde
see
ich auch.
here Fish a couple of different paths in these exclamation blocks, providing a little bit of a challenge early on.
Yeah, this is the new feature, as Nine pointed out. So you want to be able to use the ground pound to get all of them fully expanded, and from there you can make your way through this level. But I'm surprised that both of them went to the right off the bat, and definitely a little bit of a lead for Yellow Killer Bee. But I wonder how she's gonna traverse through the rest.
Das sieht doch schon mal nicht schlecht aus, ja. Viel zu einfach. Alter, die rechts liegt aber vor, ne?
Well, I think I've seen this before. The bounce and going all the way up here. This is all about conserving your momentum.
Oh nein!
In this segment of the level, is you can't mess up.
Und unsere Favoritin kommt nicht weiter. Alles klar, Boy.
The Dragon Beanie on your left-hand side, still trying to navigate those exclamation blocks, and Yellow Killer Bee. Oh, a little collision coverage right there. She bumps
Die Blonde scheint echt gut zu sein, ne? Oh, nein, das kann nicht sein. Auf geht's, Killer Biene.
Oh, Cat Mario is finally making his appearance, and I like it. I like that Dragon Feeny tried on the right side and figured that she couldn't do it, so she went to the left side where she has the mushroom trampolines, and maybe that would be an easier time for her.
Die haben da 2 Wege eingebaut, das ist ja cool.
That needs to use the climb feature, the wall climb feature there with the Meowser, or the Cat Mario. Doing a great job already here. We got 2 options again with the
Ach Mann!
green, of course.
Ein bisschen leid tut sie mir ja schon. Sie ist aber nicht schnell genug dafür. Jetzt rüber. Na also. Noch 20 Mal schlafen, ja. Links ist schon RIP. Ja, guckt euch mal an, wie weit die Killer Bee ist. Also die rechte ist wesentlich besser. Wesentlich besser. Keine Angst, Dragon für die ganze Shot jetzt.
Trying to go on the treadmill. A couple of treadmills up in the air, though. I wonder if those coins should lead her there, Bish.
Right, yeah. It feels like you want to follow the coins typically when you see these kind of levels, and the arrows specifically.
Also ich glaube, die wird leider auch niemand mehr nehmen als Partner. Das meine ich noch nicht mal böse. Und der.
Yellow Killer Bee, the first one to cross the finish line. Impressive right there. Dragon Feeny will have 30 seconds left to finish up the level. You see already these alternating pink and blue blocks. You have to have a lot of really precise timing with this here.
Sie ist einfach viel zu langsam. Schade, ey.
You will fall through, and that's the difference between this left and right side. This is more timing based, whereas that right side.
Jetzt schafft sie es oder was?
Okay.
Dragon Feeny avoiding some thwomps right there.
Na, jetzt ist der Druck weg.
Getting inside the tube. Yellow Killer Bee, meanwhile, just sitting back, chilling. She already crossed the goal. An impressive job by our first 2 speedrunners handling that. And
ey Leute, wer weiß, wie wir uns anstellen würden, wenn wir davor sitzen würden. Also. Ja, da sitzt er halt da vor Publikum und muss Mario-Level spielen. Ich weiß nicht, ob wir da so viel besser wären.
You can go just a little bit higher and then from there jump to the next area and then do your wall jumps and whatnot. But I think it was very interesting that Dragon Feeny was stuck in that one area between the 2 different ways that she could have gone. And I think maybe if she had gone back to the mushroom trampoline a little bit earlier, it might have worked out well. But some players are just better at certain aspects of the game.
And Nine, those exclamation blocks are very tricky, especially when you're trying to wall
Ich guck mal in die Umfrage rein.
You have to hit others, they're not going to really help you out too much.
Also Mario 64 200 Votes und Kaizo Mario hat 183 Votes.
I think that the most important part is identifying which of the blocks are nice, so if you do fall, you can make it back up without losing too much time.
And you look at the pacing as well too, Vish. It seemed like they weren't really hitting the brakes too much. A nice little rhythm, but they also didn't get themselves in too much trouble by going too fast.
Right. I think that's going to be the risk and reward that we're talking about a little bit. Because
if you go all the way just holding
right the entire time, there's going to be little traps and whatnot that could set you back. You might save 5 seconds, but lose 30 seconds in the long run. So
da kriegt man aber schon Bock, wenn man sich denkt, da kann ich besser.
The Dragon Feeney and Yellow Killer B, our first two participants. Yellow
Hier
Killer
schon
B
wieder ganz
crosses the
gemeine
finish
Level
line first.
rumzukommen,
We
ja,
get
ja.
her official time for you here shortly to see what Abdallah and the Completionists have to get if they want to be in first place. Don't forget the winner of our opening round gets to choose their teammate.
Ich denke, es wird
Round two,
Paper
and
Mario.
This is where a little
Was?
gamemanship comes
Lili,
in here,
grüß dich.
Nine, because you have to ask yourself, do I pick the strongest person to help me out in the second round, meaning I have a stronger opponent in the finals, or do I maybe pick somebody that struggled a little bit and maybe make my path in the finals that much
Ja, wenn du
easier?
das um dich rum nicht ausblenden kannst, ne, dann bist halt, dann bist du halt RIP.
Here in the
Ist
early
halt so.
rounds just to make sure that they can throw people off here. So I think the games have already started, but you laid it out perfectly there. Are you assuming that you can get through that?
Ich glaube
second
nicht
round with a
Martin,
lesser
eher
teammate,
am
or do you
Dienstag
want to
denn.
get there and let the championship
Mart.
round decide itself?
All right, let's get
Okay,
set for our
das
next speed run here between Abdallah and the Completionist here as they get set for the same level we
Ist
just
halt so
saw. They
Bonner, ne?
haven't seen it yet. They were blindfolded and had the noise-canceling headphones on. They're excited. They're ready to roll. The crowd is hyped up. Here we go. Let's take another look at this first course in Super Mario Maker 2 as part of our Invitational. Let's get the countdown rolling here in just one moment. And off we go. Both players hitting start at the same time because they exercise good sportsmanship. That's what we like to see. And we saw earlier, there's a big blooper.
Okay, gleiche Level normal.
Question block, but we've got the Completionist. He's trying to complete the level already, Vish. It's all about the speed here, rather.
Right. He wants to make sure he hits all
jetzt
the
bin ich mal
little blocks
gespannt.
as soon as he can, but he gets a little power up that the other players kind of avoided because they're going for the speedrun aspect.
Es
right?
ist
They're
aber auch
trying to power through
schon
it. And again, both players going for the right
interessant
side.
gebaut, ne?
And that's what we see right here, Nine. Taking that exclamation point. Maybe it's the big yellow blocks that just draw your attention, but already the Completionist figuring out the trick of using that ground.
Da ist er volles Risiko gegangen mit dem kleinen Mario. Wie ärgerlich.
It is, and one more block we saw. This takes you almost right up. Can he complete the whole jump? Can he salvage this? It looks like he is. Great spin all the way through. What a fantastic save there by the Completionist. Checkpoint reached.
The aerial acrobatics to find himself in the cart portion at this point, and as you said, very precise jumps needed during this part if you want to avoid an accident. Those springs already trying to deter the Completionist. And you take a look on the side, on the left-hand side with the Completionist.
Ich kann mir schon vorstellen, dass das vor Ort spannend ist.
Right now on the right-hand side of your screen doing a great job bouncing off those platforms, Vish.
Right. I like that there's no hesitation from Abdallah's end there, because if you hesitate a little bit on this course, you end up actually hitting those springs that we saw earlier there. And
Ich hoffe, die wird es dann wieder zum Spielen geben, die Kurse.
Area is actually very clutch, because a lot of players are tricked up by it and they end up jumping a little bit and having to do that.
Okay, Auto kann man auch kaputt machen.
Abdallah moving on to the Cat Mario portion. Meanwhile, the Completionist, well, he's just trying to lock some miles. We'll just put it that way. Cat Mario 9, you have to understand different physics.
Da kommt drauf an, ob die ausverkauft sind, Klapper.
Already going that way, and once again, going over to the green side here. The block on the left side does move a little bit quicker here, so it's a little bit easier if you want to get the speed, but sometimes that means you'll miss it too. Thinks they're going to try it right here.
And that's a good point. The rhythm that comes with being on the left-hand side, a little bit more natural because those blocks move faster, but Vish, Abdallah struggling just a little bit with the block portion, giving the Completionist some time to catch
Aber die
up,
Level
but
sind cool
looks like
gebaut,
the
oder?
Completionist is just going for a joyride right now.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like Abdallah is just trying to remember how to play Cat Mario, because he's doing the glide when he wants to do the wall climb and whatnot, and I think having those split mistakes every so often is really
Ja, aber Completionist hängt ja so weit zurück, ey.
A course like this that's very tight in terms of wall jumps.
And that's a good point, Nine. We were talking to Abdallah prior to this competition. He said the physics for Cat Mario, very tricky. He pointed that out, and early on already having to deal with it. Meanwhile, the Completionist in the Cat Mario stage has a chance to catch up here.
Does. This is very close right here. Just one more jump, and the Completionist will be really about even with them once they get to that checkpoint here. And I think Abdallah's starting to
Ja, aber die lassen sich offensichtlich sehr gut spielen, die Level.
Of that very slow green platform. Instead, maybe using it to try to climb up, but it looks like he's found another way. That creativity.
Aber ich glaube, die haben die Level schon mal... Nein!
Slow and steady wins
Oh, wie
the race,
ärgerlich.
with
Ich glaube,
the
die haben die
green
Level schon mal
block, you end
gespielt,
up going
oder?
slower, which
Haben die nicht das am Anfang
allows
gesagt, dass sie
really
schon mal
think
gespielt haben, die
out
Level?
what movements he wanted to do
Oder zumindest mal
and,
anspielen
he could
durften?
climb right before his jump. So he will make it to the next portion here. And again, you gotta follow those coins and you gotta follow those arrows.
Abdallah at the end just has to climb those last moving treadmills as you see here.
862 Likes. Vielen lieben Dank.
And here's one of those on-off switches that can affect so many different things, but Cat Mario making... Oh, no! Abdallah misses the exclamation mark. It has to go all the way back to the bottom. Here comes
Nee.
the completionist in the block portion.
Jetzt kann der noch aufholen. Krass.
Don't forget, they're racing our winner from the earlier round right now. We'll see how that time stacks up as Abdallah reaches the top of the pole first. And we'll have 30 more seconds for the completionist just to play around with Super Mario Maker 2 and have some fun there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to complete the level right now, and he really wants to see what else is in there.
Na, wenn du die Level nur einmal spielen durftest oder zumindest nur anspielen durftest, na klar.
Different physics that you have to get used to, and already you're implementing traps and hazards from 2D side scrollers. You've got Super Mario 3D World and Cat Mario trying to handle that. You've got springs, moving blocks, so many things
Der
you
geht
have
zu
to count
früh.
for here,
Er muss da warten, bis die
right here as we do see that time tick away. It really was not understanding
Man
the
sieht ja
Cat
zuerst mal die
Mario
Türen in
physics.
3D
They kind
World.
of threw him off there. There was a chance to climb the wall earlier, but instead looking for a more traditional wall jump. I think maybe a little more familiarity, and that would have gone quick.
It's surprising how high Cat Mario can jump. A lot of times.
Das finde ich ja cool, dass du die Schlangen dann auch verwenden kannst als Catsuit Mario, dass du da hochklettern kannst.
No, yeah, the Cat Mario definitely is a little bit difficult because in the portions like that, you're trying to
Extra
just
die
go
Massen
through the wall
aufrühren.
jump as
Okay.
soon as possible, but actually doing the climb just a little bit so you can time
Dafür
your jump and
haben
get
sie-
a
sind
little
sie aber
bit
gut
more height
durchgekommen,
is very
finde ich.
crucial for that particular portion of the level.
So Abdallah wins the head-to-head matchup against the completionist. We do want to clean up one thing. In that prior race with Yellow Killer Bee and the Dragon Feeny, their graphics were on the incorrect side of the screen, so the Dragon Feeny actually winning that first round. And we'll see how her time stacks up against Abdallah.
Angeblich soll es eine halbe Stunde gehen. Schauen wir
She'll
mal.
get a chance to choose her teammate in the second round, but already early on, NEUE, we saw that on a given level, you can go left or right, and sometimes choosing the right path that plays to your strengths is all the difference in the world.
Well, it's all about the strengths, and we saw trying to shift back over to the left side after a little bit of struggles on the right side there. That's where those split-second decisions come in, because we've seen how fast these players can get to a level that they've never seen before. There really isn't that much room to mess up.
And you saw the Kart Mario portion in the car. Very difficult for the completionist at times because you have to maintain that momentum. Not much of a problem for Abdallah.
Yeah, no, the
Sehr gut,
cars,
Lothar.
It's kind of difficult when you're not sure what's going to show up next, right? Because you have to keep your momentum, you have to keep your speed throughout that level, and then there's also one portion where you're not supposed to jump, where it's on the rest of it you're supposed to jump. So keeping all of that in mind is actually quite difficult as it's going so fast.
Well, let's take a look at the times after our first round in the 4 speed runs and see who had the fastest time. And it looks like the Dragon Feeny in 3:11, Abdallah 33 seconds behind. And you see Yellow Killer Bee and the completionist unable to finish due to the speed of the Dragon Feeny and Abdallah.
Ich dachte,
and we've been told
haben die da vorhin was vertauscht? Ich dachte, haben wir die vertauscht?
So interesting choice right there, but you saw Yellow Killer Bee wasn't too far behind the Dragon.
Namen waren vertauscht? Als ob.
This is where communication comes in. It's so important and that cooperative play as well too. Nice.
Als ob.
Das
ist alles Betrug, sage ich euch. Das ist alles Betrug.
I think becomes the shot caller in these situations. Some of these puzzles are going to really rely on somebody saying, all right, let's look at what we've got here. We're going to time this in 1, 2, 3, something along those lines, because we saw a little mess up can send you down far, and I have no doubt that this level is going to be the same.
And I'm really curious who the little brother is between the Abdallah and completionist, who's going to get
Haben
that
Sie gerade
second
gesagt,
control
okay, habe ich
and
nicht
doesn't get
mitbekommen.
used too much. It's been rolled up for a while as well too. And you mentioned working together, and another fact of this game that we saw earlier in the first course, the on-off switch and how that might be implemented. Perhaps we see that more in these next couple
Schön die
of
Namen
courses.
Yeah, it
vertauscht.
definitely will help out with the timing of things. You know, in a two-player mode, if you
Wir
have
werden noch mal
one
reinschalten,
person
ja, mal sehen, was da
turn on
noch
the switch,
kommt.
The other person would have to adapt to what that changes in the course map. So I think that
Also
could be,
FIFA 20 ist schon
very
durch.
tricky and very,
Und als
interesting.
nächstes kommt Madden NFL.
But as NEUE said, I think a lot of it's going to be coming
Aber
down to
vielleicht ist ja
timing and
Sims
how
4 noch
well
ganz
you communicate
interessant.
with
Vielleicht
your
wird ja auch ein neuer Teil
so I think
angekündigt.
maybe part of the reason why Dragon Feeny chose Yellow Killer Bee is perhaps, you know, they've been hanging out a lot throughout this weekend, so maybe they have some good synergy that might help them out at this next level.
Synergy, nice business word right there. I'll see that on my next PowerPoint presentation. And
Geile,
now,
grüß
as you
dich.
get set for co-op mode, and what we saw in this first course is, it's almost like you walk into a section of these courses and you have to perceive everything around
Am
you.
Anfang waren die Namen der zwei Jungs auch vertauscht. Ach
And now
echt?
it's going to be implementing most likely
Also.
that second player. It's not just something you can do by yourself while your partner kicks back and drinks some lemonade.
Well, you do have two people.
Na, ich
so
weiß nicht, ob noch was
it
für
should
Mario
reason that
Party
you can
kommen
now
wird.
figure it
Ich
out
habe
twice
leise
as fast or
Zweifel,
something
ehrlich
like that.
gesagt.
So the communication is going to be just as important as what's going on in the game itself.
And also just the execution of the different moves that Mario can do. We saw that with Cat Mario, some of these players struggling as well too.
Alles falsch
You have to be
gemacht,
very
Nintendo,
familiar
ja.
with these power-ups, and it looks like our teams are set to go. Round 2, our co-op course here at Super Mario
Na,
Maker
bestimmt
2
Doug Bowser,
Invitational
oder,
2019.
Dominik?
The Dragon Phoenix and Yellow Killer Bee taking on Abdallah and the Completionist. Let's get ready for the countdown here, folks. 3, 2,
Squid, vielen Dank für dein Follow auf Twitch.
and let's hit that start button here. As we said, it's co-op mode, Mario, Luigi, a little Super Mario World action here,
Yes.
Nine.
I know a lot of the competitors, when we were talking to them, said they are very familiar with this. So if there's ever
Mario
gonna
Kart
be a
9
moment
würde ich
they will
erstmal
know
nicht von
what to do,
ausgehen.
this is going to be
Vielleicht
the time.
2021
Early
oder
on, you see a
22.
bit of an obstacle here, trying to get to the top
Okay,
shelf.
nice.
There's an on switch just staring you in the face. Dragon Phoenix, Yellow Killer Bee, that figure it out. But now they've got an advanced Luigi on the bottom. They're starting to
wie
slowly
geil,
figure it
ey.
out. Hitting those on-off switches, opening up the gates, allowing them to progress here, Vish.
Yeah, and like we're talking about, one person is doing the on-off and the other person is just waiting. And in this
Das ist
particular
ja
moment, this is
cool,
where
ey.
the timing matters, right? Because he has to turn the switch on, and then the blue block.
Das wäre so
here,
geil
he has
online
to
mit
jump
Freunden.
on
Ja,
it
ist
two
halt
or
so,
three
ne?
times, and they both make it to the second round at basically the same time.
Both teams sneaking through the door at the same time. Now you see a swinging crane floating at the top. They're trying to jump off of each other's heads to grab it, use those physics to advance. Oh, Dragon
Aber geht halt
Yellow
nicht,
Killer
ja.
Bee moving forward, but there is a P block.
Aber es ist ja
right
mega
there.
geil
Interesting
gemacht,
to see
finde
what
ich,
happens
ey.
with that switch here, Nine.
The best prize that you could ever get at the end of a crane game.
Die sind ja fast
Dragon
zeitgleich,
Phoenix,
ey.
Yellow Killer Bee move. They both get in at the same time. I cannot believe how close this is already. And now we see the switches
Krass.
again. It's going to be very important that they identify this because they are both moving at incredible speed.
And you see Abdallah and the Completionist slightly further ahead than
Du
the
kannst ja
Dragon
lokal
Phoenix,
an einem
Yellow
Ort
Killer Bee. Don't
spielen.
forget,
Aber ich weiß
whatever
es nicht,
team wins
Pucci.
advances to the finals where they face
Ich hoffe
off
einfach,
against
dass es
each
sich nicht,
other. Abdallah and the
dass es
Completionist
irgendwann
hitting that power
nachgepatcht
block,
wird,
getting the spring
wenn
to
es
go.
nicht kommt.
Mario trying to jump up with that spring, advances. Luigi on your right-hand side, just a few seconds behind here, Vish.
This is a really tight race. They are just neck and
Ist ja
neck
mega
right now.
geil,
They're really
ey.
figuring out all the things they need to do and like throwing the power block up there to get the spring. And now they just have one more little obstacle to complete here. They
Alter.
to the top there. That timing.
Past the gravy and past the power block. As that
Oh,
line comes
den
down,
Powerblock
Dragon
dann ist
Phoenix,
dazwischen
Yellow Killer
geschmissen.
Bee,
Ah,
they advance. Abdallah, the
ärgerlich.
Completionist. Oh, kicking it too high. It is exhausted having to grab a new power block. Here comes another on-off section here, though, Nine, and this is going to require a lot of
Okay,
communication.
Sphere.
it looks like.
This one is a little bit tricky. The last time that we saw this switch,
Okay,
it was
hat
a
er
little
wieder
bit more
aufgeholt.
obvious what you need to do. Here, there's going to be some bouncing that's involved. You can't get to it with a normal jump.
Abdallah
Ach, da
and the
oben ist der
Completionist now equal with the Dragon Phoenix,
Boah, das ist ja
Yellow
mies.
Killer Bee, and
Der
this
muss ja
is
dann
what we talked
abspringen,
about. Seeing a
wenn der
puzzle
andere den
trying to
Schalter
figure out,
umlegt.
What do I do with all the tools at my disposal?
Right. I think just even like exploring the level or just like going through and seeing what options
Krass.
you have could really help you out.
Alter, ist das geil,
You see
ey.
Abdallah and the Completionist on that left-hand side trying to jump onto the red block. They advance Mario right there. Ooh, what do you do here, Nine? This looks precarious.
Well, they got to figure it out quick. 1, 2, just a little late.
Ooh.
The right idea. But unfortunately, the right idea is not enough. You got to start all over again.
And it comes to the execution we talked about, Vish. You can have the right idea,
Oh
but
my
at
God.
the end of the day, your thumbs have to be in sync with your brain.
Yeah, I mean in a speedrun like this, you usually get like one.
Okay, den kann er
one
selbst
try and
umlegen.
most in
Aber
terms
er
of
muss ja
learning
sogar
that kind
aus dem
of,
Bildschirm
idea here,
rausspringen.
So you can't mess up again because you have to start all the way from the beginning. Will he get the timing down this time? You can see them biding their time.
Oh, scheiße.
Gate on him! Shuts the gate on him! Said, no, you can't come in for dinner!
Krass.
Abdallah and the Completionist going back to the beginning. Meanwhile, Dragon Phoenix, Yellow Killer Bee still trying to find the rhythm. But Nine, this is an important point. You see a trap, how quickly can you go back through the puzzle and give yourself as many chances as possible?
Das mit einem Rendern zu versuchen. Oh, Axel, hör auf jetzt. Oh, noch ein Levelabschnitt.
It's up to the Dragon Phoenix and Yellow Killer Bee to get through this as fast as possible.
And keep in mind, these red and blue
Die haben's
blocks
aber
are
raus,
now
die beiden, ne?
automatically switching off, and that's a feature with the on-off switch here, Vish. Other items can turn it on and off, but now that skull track is gone, let's go through the door. and see
Aber wenn
what
man's
happens
selbst
after
machen
that.
müsste, würde ich
Abdallah and the
ragen.
Completionist. One room ahead
Oh
of us.
nein, ey, die
For
kommen nicht
Dragon
weiter da auf der
Phoenix,
rechten
Yellow Killer
Seite.
Bee. They're gonna give themselves another chance on the left here. Trying to
Ich
time
stell mir
things
gerade
out.
Domi und
Looks like
Nerdy
they
in dem
might have
Level
figured this
vor.
out. And Abdallah and the Completionist taking the
Eieieiei.
carpool through the tube. Is that going to be enough as you take a look coming out the pipe? One more trap here, though, Nine.
It's a trap and also a new feature. They immediately go to grab each other. One, two.
Oh,
Oh, the air ball is just short. Abdallah and the Completionist trying to close out this course and advance to the finals, and they do. Abdallah and the Completionist high fives and dapper round
Geil.
as they move on to the finals.
Geil, geil,
Nicely
geil.
done. fantastic execution, and you see all the things you can do in co-op play, Fish. How about the teamwork by those two?
Oh, man, you could really
Aber die
see
sind
the
da ja
teamwork
ruckzuck
coming
dann
together
durchgekommen, ne?
as the course even progressed, right? Like you could see them
Jetzt macht das mal
really
mit
on point
Randoms.
with their
Das
timing.
ist es
As
halt
soon as they
gerade,
got
ne?
that, one
Das will ich halt auch nicht mit
start,
Randoms
you have to do
machen.
it twice in order to continue the
Ich
next
meine,
one. I feel like they
stell
were
dir vor,
totally
der ist
sick.
wirklich
Everyone
bereit,
after
auf der
that
anderen
just
Seite das mit dir zu
really
spielen und so.
together for them.
In 9, it seemed like
Aber
the
dann,
difference in this course
weil du es mal
was
zweimal hintereinander nicht
Abdallah
gereiht hast,
just
dann
figured out that one room where you've got to alternate the red and blue blocks and then time the double jump at the end.
ist ja schon wieder am
They're able to
Ausflippen,
rinse and
ne?
repeat multiple times. Meanwhile, Yellow Killer B
Leute,
and the Dragon
225 Votes für
No, and
Kaizo
remarkable
Mario
not only
und
how quickly they were able to
233
adapt,
für
but
Mario
how quickly they
64.
figured out the exact timing that they needed to do. That is not easy to do. These people know what they're doing, and that skull track room that they got through, that took them.
Ich hoffe auch, ey.
They figured it out immediately and executed it right on that.
Couch
second
Go. Ja,
Well, we're at the finals, which means we do have to say goodbye to two of our competitors. Crowd, let's give a big round of applause to Dragon Genie and Yellow Killer B. Excellent work considering this is the first time they saw this game, and I'm sure they're going to just have a great time with it.
Baby Kaizo
Releases
Mario.
later this month, but we do have a finals to get to.
Mario
It'll be
World.
3 objective-based courses and then 1 finals course as
Vor allem,
well.
es gibt ja auch Leute, die einfach Rage quitten. Ja, das ist halt wirklich komisch.
Courses here. You see round 1, the Dragon Feeny had the fastest time. She chose Yellow Killer B. However, Abdallah and the Completionist, a bit of an upset in the second round.
Also, dass die jetzt ihre weibliche Partnerin ausgesucht hat, halte ich für keinen Zufall übrigens. Ich glaube, das ist eher so ein... Naja, wir lassen das mal so wie lieber, wie es ist, bevor es dann noch irgendwie Stress gibt.
And there's different things that you can do. You can perhaps maybe collect a certain amount of coins, hit a P-switch possibly. So
Der wird bestimmt ein bisschen was kosten, Nightcore Asuna.
And these are probably going to be shorter courses as well too, Vish, so less margin for error.
Right. I think taking
Ja,
your time
Dennis,
with
ich
courses
glaub
like
da
this
auch.
really will pay off because there's going to be little precarious traps as you go along, right? So and there's going to be levels where you may have to like escort something, you may have to have an item along with you, you might have to collect all the coins as you mentioned.
Vielleicht toppen wir ja sogar die 1000
Being very
Likes
wary
kommen.
of what's coming up ahead while going as fast as you can is going to be really the
So, hier nochmal der Link
Well, let's get
zur
set for our
Abstimmung.
first course in the finals, the first of 3 mini courses that are objective-based. So keep an eye out for what that objective is. It'll appear at the bottom of your screen here shortly. We've got Abdallah versus the Completionist. Course 1 of the finals. Let's get this countdown started here, crowd.
2025. Na, mal schauen.
They were really chummy in the previous game, but now the gloves are off. Now they got to play against each other. Oh, look
Yeah, I see a firm crowd.
Na, ich hoffe mal, Ellie, oder?
He's ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and let's roll here. Both players hitting that play
Super
button at
Mario
the same
Bros.
time.
3.
Finals 1, a little Super Mario 3 here, 9.
Well, you knew we were going to get it coming up eventually, and it's going to be reaching the goal after hitting all, in this case 1, piece.
Well, let's see what we have here. You
1000
go
Likes
through the pipe,
gleich,
and there's a
Dankeschön.
mushroom and up. Just like airplane seats for me, too big to get through there, Fish.
Yeah, that's our first peek at the night mode feature that we have in Super
Alter, sieht das schön aus, ey.
It looks like there's twisters here as well,
Das
and
Night
we also
Scene.
have the little sandstorms feature, which is going to push you through that little area that's too difficult for you if you were a big Mario.
Abdallah trying to figure out which jigsaw piece.
Schon wieder
this puzzle right
50-50.
now can't make it through that pipe as long as you've got those twisters at the bottom. Hits the on-off switch, trying to mess around with the twister on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, Completionist, knocks the twister off right there, and seems like both players still trying to kind of figure out how this course works here, 9.
Right, and you called it a puzzle earlier. It absolutely is, and everything that you see right here is self-contained. Both of them have gone through the door, they've gone back through the pipe, and it looks like the Completionist is starting to figure it out, escorting that twister all the way to the end, almost there, gonna have to get it to drop just
Ach, der Twister muss darüber geleitet werden. Okay, der reagiert auf die Blöcke da oben. Ah. Und das da unten sind Reset-Türen. Okay.
Now it just comes down to that execution piece we talked about, Vish.
Right, yeah, I think both players are kind of figured out the mechanics of this level and how to get the twister all the way to the right.
Ja, genau.
Finally gets him all the way down, and that's gonna move the P block all the way
Ach, wie
there,
geil.
and he is going to be able to get it up. P-switch ready.
But the
but wait a minute.
Completionist carries it.
Wait
You
a
gotta...
Hä?
Don't you hit a P-switch
Yeah,
when you see it, Fish?
you should hit
He's
the
carrying it like a watermelon at this point.
Wollte mal
He
sagen.
hits the P-switch, the Completionist, first one through the pipe. Abdallah still trying to hit it. Completionist Oh, he gets the mushroom at the end, and the completionist wins the first course.
Werde die Level wohl meiden? Alter, Axel, ey, du machst mich fertig. Du machst mich fertig.
Well, talk about a margin for error here. They both actually did the same thing. They took the P-switch up to the block on the top right.
Auf jeden Fall,
The
gute
only
Idee.
difference is that the completionist did not let the block go. We saw Abdallah do that, and once it's up there, you
Axel, der Spielverderber, echt mal.
floating in the air, you're floating in the air, and we didn't see it there, but he actually had to reset the level anyway.
And it goes back to the mechanics of not only Mario, Vish, but the different traps and hazards you're going to see, understanding how those twisters work and how you can't go through the pipe and you can't go through if you're carrying anything.
Yeah, that's a new feature here in Mario Maker 2, so it just kept you all the way up there. And
Super Mario World, New Super Mario Bros. SMB, SMB 3.
all the twisters on the right side.
It's shiny, it's blinking.
yeah.
Bin aber auch
You
kein
gotta
Fan
jump on it
davon.
right there, but the completionist winning the first course of that objective
Sag
course.
raus,
Really
ja,
impressive
genau,
by
Spieger.
both
Wird er
of
bestimmt
them.
gemacht
Figure it
haben
out.
auf der
Let's go
Bühne.
ahead and get set for our second course here between Abdallah and the
Die
completionist.
Twister erlauben so viele neue
Completionist taking the
Mechaniken. Alter,
first
es
one
wird
with
so
a
krass,
3-second
das
head
Spiel,
start.
wirklich.
They're ready to go. They're exhaling. They're ready to roll.
Das wird so
Let's get
krass.
this countdown started here. All right, we've got our second course here in 9. What are the rules for this one here?
Reach the coin, or the goal, after grabbing all 100 coins. You do have to reach the coins, in fact 100 of them, and you see right there, that flag is not
Also
yet
100
there.
Münzen
Let's hop
sammeln,
into the
okay.
pipe and see what we've got.
And also, what genre are we working with here? So
Ich
they're
denke auch,
familiar
dass
with
noch
the
andere
controls.
Playstyles
Yeah,
kommen.
this is,
Und wenn dann als DLC
Super
oder
Mario
so.
World 3D, so we're gonna be able to see what's going on here. Or new Mario Maker 3.
Ach, wie geil. Auch noch so einen smoothen Level, die du richtig gut spielen kannst.
Completionist on your right-hand side, using that wall jump and those swinging cranes.
Oh, nee.
Forward right now, gets propeller Mario and whee, trying to go to the top. And you see those vines might help here. 9 already. Abdallah blowing through this course.
That's 90 coins right there. Needs to
Sei
find
jetzt
10 more.
50,
And
ja.
if you look up
Ja,
to the
ist
top of your
so.
screen, another new feature.
Es wird ja auch
10
geil.
points in one. You saw a few of the blocks get broken right there. I think Abdallah already knows.
So, wie steht's
It's
denn
just
gerade
on
in der
execution.
Abstimmung?
Watch out, the completion is not far behind, but that's all 100.
Abdallah now just has to descend to the bottom and grabbing that bag and going.
262 Stimmen für Mario 64, 271 Stimmen für Kaiser Mario.
It was tight timings to do those little wall jumps and make sure that you get the propeller in.
So taunting by Abdallah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
much
krass.
for gamemanship and good friendship right here.
They were just friends in the previous game. What
Lively
happened?
smirk.
Okay.
Oh, I
Things
know
are
that
heating
nod.
up here at the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. Friends are now foes. Abdallah rubbing it into the face and beard of the
Teabag
completionist
shine.
right there, 9.
That nod that the completionist gave was not a happy nod.
No.
That was all right. We got one more.
Yeah,
Let's
that's-
see who gets the lead.
That's a you cut me off in the buffet nod right
Hey,
there.
disrespect.
No, thank you. 1-1 is the score now, so neither player with a head start in the final course we'll get to. We're ready for course number 3. Let's keep this action rolling here, crowd. You know what to do when that countdown begins. Let me hear you sing.
Du musst da was nachholen. Ich muss so viel nachholen.
I gotta say, these levels are so
Ich muss so viel nachholen, ey.
Third objective-based course here. 9, go ahead and break it down for us.
Reach the goal while riding Yoshi. I know there's some Yoshi fans in the crowd. Come on, who doesn't love him? Right at the beginning, you get to jump on him, but it looks like there is a world of pain waiting for them.
Ach
A
du
lot
je.
of sauce, and that's not something
Also du
Yoshi
musst auf jeden Fall
likes.
das Ziel mit Yoshi erreichen,
Cannonball
okay.
on the left-hand side for Abdallah, slight lead, hits the off switch. I wonder what comes out of there, avoiding the fire, but a twister sends him straight into the spike. And Abdallah losing a life right now. Oh, but the completionist able to move forward, ducking underneath the saws, and you see some dripping water. Avoids the icicle falling down, but then that pink bumper knocking him off, and you got to be careful here, Fish.
Yeah, that being said, I feel like the completionist really went through that stage quite fast. He was able to duck under the saws really well, carrying the momentum while he slides. And then he also went through the icicle portion pretty quickly. And now
Alter, mit dem
on the
Spiel wird so
second
viel
part, we're
möglich
gonna
sein, ey.
see Seesaws here. You gotta have to make sure to put your weight on the right portion and jump. According to completionist, finished that so fast.
Was?
Under a minute. The completionist not
Krass,
rubbing
das
it
geht
in.
aber schnell, ey.
It's all business. You see the collar, you see the suit jacket right there. He'll take a 3-second head start into our final course and
Ja, Yoshi aus dem Schlachthaus
dancing
retten.
around the
Ja.
hazards throughout that entire level 9. Nearly a flawless finish by the completionist.
We didn't even get to talk about the mechanics of that level there. I was going to say, well, you know, if you bounce off Yoshi, he can run around and you can jump back on him. The completionist said, no, I'll keep my dino the entire time. Let's just run through this, no problem whatsoever.
Prehistoric preservation by the completionist right there. As we
Ich
move
bin
on
am
to our
Schwitzen.
final
Naja,
course.
wenn du da
As
in
we
den
said, a 3-second
Scheinwerfern
head start
sitzt,
for
da
the
ist es auch mega
completionist.
warm.
And so it seems like these players are getting more comfortable. These courses are flying by much quicker as they get
20
more
Tage
invested
noch.
in this game. And you'll see the finals.
Alter.
The 3 minis plus 1 final. The completionist taking 2 out of those 3, which means you have a nice, comfortable 3-second head start. But as we know, sometimes 3 seconds isn't
Hat er jetzt
much
gewonnen
time.
oder kommt da jetzt noch was?
Potentially, in those last couple of games, though, they were like pretty neck and neck, and some of them are speeding through it like we saw completionists. So 3 seconds might actually be make or break in this last game we're going to see here.
Ah,
Let's
last
get
game.
set for
Okay.
our final course of the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019.
So,
Let's
jetzt
get this
geht's.
thing rolling. The completionist taking on Abdallah one more
Was laber
course
lustig.
to determine who will be our champion this
Bei der
year.
Abstimmung. Moment.
Let's get
280
that-
zu
the completionist
283.
is the start line first. Obviously, you get that 3-second head start, so that's great right there by Abdallah. Honoring that.
Natürlich,
Of
als
course
finales
there's gonna be
Level
lava
Super
here,
Mario
Nine.
Bros.
Of
1.
course there's going to be lava, and this
Oh,
is
wie
the one
geil.
that we hadn't seen yet. We're taking it back all the way to the classic there, and neither one of them
Ja, die
clearing it
müssen
so far. A little stumble
warten
there at the
da,
start,
ne?
but of
Auf den
course
Stachel
lava.
springen und warten
I wonder
wahrscheinlich.
who we're going to see at the end of this.
Ey,
The
wie geil.
completionist is able to stay alive and dance around the icicle, trying to get some momentum, waits for that lava to fall. We get to the next section here. Abdallah slightly ahead, grabs the swinging crane, but oh, we've got a big boom boom going down right now, Nine.
Look at how quickly Abdallah went across that, and the speed being too much. The complete
Beide an derselben Stelle gestorben, oder was?
Meets the
Fast,
same
ja.
fate. They're gonna start
Oh,
again.
wie ärgerlich.
I'm starting to think those 3 seconds may not matter too much.
And Bish, this is where rinse repeat becomes very important because you're going to get back to the same part that you stumbled against. How quickly can you get back to that same area?
Definitely. I think it's going to be like a huge learning process as they traverse this level, right?
Nee,
And that
nee,
3 seconds
Bum Bum
allows
ist auch
to get
neu, genau.
One extra try. And he's-
Alter,
Abdallah-
dieses Spiel. Oh! Ist ja übel, ey.
The spike said, in the kind words of Dikembe Mutombo.
Boah, das ist so richtig Troll-Level. Das ist so richtig Troll-Level, ey.
But you know, we talked earlier about how lots of different elements of a level. We saw earlier a shell hitting the on-off block. This time it's a spike. You've got to be aware of everything. And even though Abdallah had made it further than the completionists, they started the same area.
Abdallah jumping just a little bit too high and catches his cap on the icicle. Meanwhile, the completionist is
wie
taking a
übel,
nice
ey.
little Sunday cruise, and he sees the
Battlefield
traffic.
kam schon, ja.
He jumps too early, and he falls into the lava. Abdallah with a chance to take the lead. He's got to navigate, but he falls to the same fate as earlier.
Was
And
zur Hölle, Alter?
This lava castle is causing a lot of issues for both our runners here, Nine.
Und der mit der steigenden Lava, das ist so geil, ey.
Both been fooled by the same things a couple of times. This is really
Handy
rinse,
lustig, ne?
repeat, repetition. Maybe little refinement
Das ist so
here,
geil.
but at this point it's really just about making sure you execute the plan you already know.
And Vish, what's very difficult is you want to execute, but you know right on the other side there's somebody competing right against you, and you've got to put
So,
the
jetzt
pedal to the
wartet
metal.
er ab.
Yeah, I mean, you want to like take
Ach
your
so,
time
die
just a
können
little bit,
auch-
but at the same time, you gotta go as
Jetzt
fast
habe ich
as
das
you can.
verstanden.
Completionist
Die
finally
Blöcke
able
können
to get all the
auch
red points. Will he go to the next point?
in sich,
Gets the game. He's there.
in sich
But
switchen.
White's waiting for him on the other side of the field.
Alter!
Uh-oh, a seesaw.
Oh my God, he just does it! He does that right away!
The castle and reaches the first checkpoint. Here comes another interesting part. Has the icicles falling, staying on the moving platform,
Okay.
but oh!
Oh.
Thank goodness for checkpoints.
And all of our
Alter, die
excitement,
sind ja so
Abdallah
geil, die
moves
Level,
forward,
ey.
and he's tiptoeing on
Die
this
sind ja
moving
so
platform,
geil.
But he falls to the same fate as well too, and this is tricky here, Nine, because those icicles are falling faster
Boah,
than
ist
the
das
platform's
mies!
moving.
Right, and
Oh,
I
ich
think
würd so
if Abdallah had
ausrasten.
done it, You saw that he is starting much further back on the platform and just inching his way to the right, staying clear of them just a few more feet, and gets to the next portion, but what waits?
Alter.
Just like getting candy in the middle of the night, you have to tiptoe down the hall.
Die Eishöhle haben sie echt schön gemacht, ne?
Ich
Ich glaube zwar nicht, dass das NES hinten diese Sterne hingekriegt hätte, aber... Wobei doch, bei Super Mario Bros. 3 hat es hingekriegt. Und dann ist die Schlangenbahn noch aus Eis. Stimmt, ja. Oder das liegt vielleicht an dem Setting, oder? Dass hier rutschig ist. Ich würd kotzen. Ich würd so kotzen.
Here comes an interesting part with some binds and Abdallah being like Tarzan, just being very careful swinging bind to bind.
This is interesting. I think Abdallah's been the more aggressive of the two players, but here saying, all right, let's just get across this. If I fall, I have a long way back up. As the completionist says, hey, wait a minute, I'm climbing this mountain too.
And Abdallah also
Nachts
said
ist es
one
rutsch,
hazard
stimmt.
doesn't like the
Das war dieser
original
Nachts...
Super Mario
Oh,
Bros.
nee.
Right there, those watermelon
Das war der
looking
Nachtstil,
bouncers
genau.
making this climb to the summit just a little bit tougher. But Abdallah navigating that section. Now he has a slope with some springs here, Fish.
And they all mentioned how much they dislike springs. There's
Nicht mal ein Profilbild drin, Axel. Das ist auch mal was Neues, ey. Damit zieht er Leute an.
Risk-reward really comes into play because you don't want to fall all the way down and have to redo this entire course.
Completion is not too far behind, using those swinging cranes to make his way up the mountain. Abdallah trying to figure out the seesaw with the twister. A lot of components here, and once again, you have to be familiar with the mechanics of these hazards here, Nine.
And you see right there, just not enough height to get up there. Gonna try it again. Abdallah knows what he needs to do here. He needs to manipulate where that twister is and lower him on the seesaw. And meanwhile, on the other side, the completion is never far behind.
He's on the vine portion as well.
Kommt man so durch
hot on the heels of Abdallah. Abdallah
Ach nee, jetzt war jetzt
on the
ein Zufall.
playground right now with the seesaw and the
Die
twister.
Level sind alle geil bis jetzt gewesen. Also waren richtig gut gemacht.
Yeah, and I think he's finally figured out where he got him all the way to the tippy top of that seesaw, and now
Zelda 2 Haus.
the next portion of this four pipe. But completion is not too far behind if you can figure out how to do these swing claws really quickly.
Muss an den höchsten Stuhl, ja, ja.
See some more rising lava, a lot of Goombas trying to crowd the club. Oh, there he is. There's Bowser, but it looks like Bowser has updated his whole
Aber das ist ja cool gemacht, dass er erst da hingelaufen ist, um den Schalter zu aktivieren. Oh mein Gott. Ich würde so. Hä? Oder kann man Bowser mit den Spikes besiegen? Oh nee.
Earlier, you wanted to jump as high as you could on the crane. Not so much in this portion.
Have to watch your head, but you see the on-off switch will block the Goombas from coming out of the pipes. You have to navigate the
ist das ätzend.
from Bowser. And this is where it gets tricky here because you saw those 3 icicles, and we always know 3 is the magic number here, Fish.
Right. I wonder how many icicles it'll take to get this Bowser. Okay, the third one goes, and then he thought it was going to be 3 as well. That's why he fell on top of him.
You thought it was going to take.
Und jetzt holt er noch auf.
Completionist, though, getting ready to go down the chimney, and boy, does he have some gifts for Bowser.
Bowser's been working out.
Eigentlich müsste Bowser doch besiegt sein nach den dritten.
Bowser hitting the gym, eating some protein.
Und?
Getting some greens in his system. Completionist, he's on the swinging crane. He's going to take a stab at Bowser. It takes 3, right? No.
Das verstehe ich jetzt aber nicht.
Oh man, but these
Die Spikes wachsen nach. Ah, jo. Boah, ist das krass.
Nine, rinse and repeat as always. You know how to get on top of Bowser, but now you have to be very careful. Is it going to be 3? No, with those saws. That's not the type of back massage you want right there. No. Bowser claiming the completionist. Abdallah trying to navigate.
Die dürfen nicht gleichzeitig hitten.
Couple of icicles on Bowser. That's only 3 though. How many more does he need? 2 more going down. That's 6. That's got to do. No!
Oh.
It takes more than that, 9.
Oh man, the completion is doing the same. Abdallah
Kreativ, aber bockschwer, aber wirklich schwer. 9-mal getroffen.
That's still not enough.
Das ist ein Sadist gemachtes Level. Aber geil gemacht.
Unbelievable.
12-mal?
The gym just like you, 9.
What's going on? How is it 12 hits is not enough for Bowser? Where has he been this
Alter.
whole time? He's been training.
The fire keeps coming. Bowser does not want to champion. Oh, Abdallah knocks out Bowser.
Oh
Now he
nein.
just has to navigate the swinging crane. A couple more icicles. Watch out for the saws. And Abdallah gets the axe. Knocks out Bowser.
Ich stehe kurz davor, das doch noch so bestellt. Alter, das war ja wirklich... Ja, Grafik hat sich gerade runtergestellt bei Nintendo leider. Ich kann noch mal gucken. Ah ja, okay. Oh. Naja, jetzt sehen wir es nochmal doppelt. Richtig gut. Gute Level. Ich hoffe, die kann man nochmal nachspielen. Spielen die Musik gerade zu früh ein oder habe ich gerade einen Fehler? Bowser, grüß dich. Definitiv. Mega 2 wird die Switch. Komisch.
We all know every time Mario takes a trip back to the beginning of that level, it resets the health, and Abdallah standing at center stage right now, championing the crowd.
Well,
aber hat er gut gemacht. Kann man ihm auch mal gönnen. Jetzt konnte man sehen, was Export Course Designer Direct bedeuten sollte. Ich hoffe, Demerion. Ach, guck mal einen an. Das ist natürlich sehr Ehre.
How about that trophy right
Aber
there?
Miyamoto müsste eigentlich auch da
One of a
sein.
kind.
Einfach
Walking
nur...
over there to get it. I know that this is exactly what they've been working for this entire time, and to be able to come out on top in the
Pixel,
way that
grüß
he
dich.
has, just remarkable.
Switch explodiert, wenn das Game erreicht.
Mr. Tezuka passing off the hardware there. Couple photos as well too. Let's go ahead, toss it down.
Hat das erste Mario mitdesignt. Ja, ja, genau. Schade. Miyamoto hätten sie vielleicht noch holen können, aber wer weiß, ob der überhaupt in Amerika ist.
Congratulations to you just again.
本当はね、
Justin, grüß dich.
上の土管から登場したかったんですけども、ちょっと危ないからどうしてもやめてほしいということで、ここから出てきます。
So I actually wanted to enter the stage from that pipe, but I was told by the staff that would be too dangerous, so they told me to stop.
素晴らしい試
やけど
合でしたね。本当にどちらが勝つかわからなくて。
That was a really great
That's all right.
final course you guys played, and I had no idea who was going to win right up until the end.
で、私も日本でこのレベルを
Meinst du, Andi?
遊んでいたんですけど、全然クリアできなかったです。
So I actually played these courses myself in Japan, but I was unable to clear any of them.
Es kommt noch Splatoon und
制作者ですけども、このゲームのスタッフですけども、
Smash, aber
難しいコースは苦手です。
So yeah, even for the the
ich
staff,
wollte jetzt eigentlich nur das
these
Neue
difficult
zu
courses are really
Mario Maker
tricky
sehen.
for us to play.
Ich will diese Trophäe haben.
So, but you were truly amazing. It was a super play that you put on display for us.
Ja, so könnte eine E3-Konferenz bei Nintendo aussehen, ne? Ich weiß gar nicht, ob das jetzt direkt im Nachgang kommt. Sehr gut, Speaker.
このゲームを盛り上げてくださった皆さんにも拍手を。
So, and I also want to applaud you guys for raising such a good cheer for the entire play we saw today. Thank you. Applaud yourselves.
Das war ja jetzt auch das Interessanteste, ne?
Up here too.
このレベルは任天堂のツリーハウスのメンバーが頑張って作ってくださいました。
So these courses that you saw today were created by members of Nintendo's Treehouse.
このトーナメントのデザインもみんな彼らが考えてくださいました。
And they also thought up all the details for the tournament today.
これ皆さん遊んでみたいと思いませんか？
So would you like to give these courses a try yourself?
Ich will die auch spielen.
もうすぐこれ発売されますけども、その後、皆さんにも遊んでもらえるようにちょっと今考えてます。
So this game is going to be coming out pretty soon, and we're thinking of a way to make sure all of you will be able to play these courses as well.
Ah, sehr gut. Die werden also auch veröffentlicht, die Kurse. Sehr schön. Ich glaube, ich sage jetzt noch, ich will die spielen. Aber wenn ich dann dabei bin, dann denke ich so.
You're going to be seen on this stage, so keep up the energy, and we hope you're looking forward to it all. All right, thank you so much.
Put your hands together one more time for the producer of Super Mario
Italia,
Maker
grüß
2,
dich.
Mr.
Ja,
Tezuka.
Boss.
And how about a round of applause for all of our participants, the Dragon Feeny, Yellow Killer B, the Completionist, and your champion, Abdallah. That'll do it for the
Ich
Super
will da
Mario
auch
Maker 2
hin.
Invitational 2019. Don't forget Super Mario Maker 2 drops June 28th, so make sure you grab that. You'll get a chance to play some of these fantastic levels. But don't go anywhere. We've got more great Nintendo competitive action just around the corner. As we
So,
get set
das war's
for the
dann mit der
Splatoon
Mario
2
Maker
World
2 Live-Reaction.
2019.
Fand ich auf jeden Fall sehr geil, sehr unterhaltsam. Wer weiß, wie viele Leute dieses Video bis zu dem Punkt geguckt haben. Aber war auf jeden Fall unterhaltsam und wir haben ein paar neue Details gesehen. Also, bis dann.